What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Brown Gent. In this video, I'm going to talk about EtherFi's Season 2 and how you can set yourself up to maximize on it. I'm going to give you the play-by-play that will give you the best shot in increasing your bags. And I'm not going to talk about the degenerate methods, but I will make another video talking a lot about how you can take different actions where you can sort of extend your liquid restaking tokens. So with all that being said, just remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy on YouTube. So please do your own research. So I actually faded EtherFi in season 1. Now, it wasn't that I didn't believe in EtherFi, but at the time in December when I was looking into restaking my ETH, I had the option between restaking it with EtherFi or with Swell Network. Now, what had happened was at the time, EtherFi, if you look at their total value locked, they were sitting around 102, 105 million US dollars. Swell was actually sitting a little higher, right? So it was like about 150. Where is it? Over here, 250 million. So I made a bet that I was going to go all in on Swell instead of diluting my bags by dividing it in two. Now, history has played out very differently. You see here, EtherFi really took off, went up to 3 billion, while Swell did take off, but it only went up to $1 billion. So when it came around time to collect the airdrop, obviously I didn't qualify because I didn't earn a single point, didn't have any Ethereum in there, but I'm going to change that for season 2. That being said, we are also at a point in time for Swell where Swell is getting ready to launch their L2. They're going to do their token generation event in April. So hopefully the money I make in the Swell airdrop will make up for what I missed on EtherFi because I went pretty much all in here by doing that. Now, the EtherFi token has been doing quite well. It's sitting around the same place it launched, around $4.50. This is not a token I want to hold for the long term. This is a governance token. As you can see here, only 11% of the total supply has been minted, which means there's significant dilution to come. Now, we'll talk about some of the ways they've actually helped keep the token's value up, which I thought was really cool and is something to give you some more confidence in this ecosystem. But before we do that, I just want to get back to the reason why we're doing all this. Yes, it's fantastic that we can earn the EtherFi token, that we can earn the Swell token. But let's just be honest here. The big kahuna that we're looking after is Eigenlayer. Now, I mentioned in the past how Eigenlayer is really a restaking protocol, which is meant to add a huge layer of security to Ethereum decentralized applications. It's sitting at $12 billion locked, or TVL. And what I want to highlight here is even though there is no airdrop right now, this protocol will definitely have a token sometime in the future, and the Eigenlayer points will sort of be very significant in earning your share of whatever that airdrop is. On top of that, we've seen this with AltLayer. Protocols will take a look at how much Eigenlayer points you've received because they're a function of time and amount. And what will happen is they will actually provide you airdrop bonuses corresponding to those numbers as well. So with AltLayer, if you had, I think, 1,000 Eigenlayer points at the time, you got a significant allocation of alt token, which launched at 50 cents, still at 50 cents. Now, before we get into the actual airdrop season 2 and the plan, let's just go over some of the quick summaries. So season 1 was 6% airdrop, 5% is in season 2. Going all the way down to tokenomics, 11% right here is for user airdrops. So that is all of the airdrops that are coming from EtherFi. That's it. So there's no more after this. So this is a huge potential. Another thing I want to highlight here is this specific statement. So they looked at contribution to EtherFi development and growth over time. Also, they looked at some certain NFT stakeholders. But what's very interesting is whale wallets have a 3-month vest periods for their tokens. whereas everyone else can claim them instantly. So very important to know, because our season 2 starts on March 15th and it ends sometime in June. I'm going to go over that in a second. So if you haven't already, make sure you claim your EtherFi airdrop. If you did qualify, you have 90 days from March 18th. So that's sometime like around June 18th. Now, they've made some significant changes as to how you can earn your airdrop in season 2, and it's called stake rank. By the way, I'm glad to hear Trust Truth that you got the EtherFi airdrop and High Star Forge. So this one is very different because they wanted to find a way to incentivize people who are already in the ecosystem to not leave and go to the next airdrop potential, which is Renzo. I made a video on that already. You can check that out on YouTube. But season 2 goes all the way from March 15th to June 30th. And stake rank actually began today. And that's why I wanted to make this video. Stake rank gives you an opportunity to ramp up your rewards. So there's a strategy behind this that I'm actually looking to employ. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of moving pieces, so we're going to have to see how this all turns out. But I'm going to give you a baseline plan. I'm also going to share with you what I've done. So you get a loyalty point system for staking longer with EtherFi. We've already went over the 5%. There are 8 levels to stake rank. So every time you go up a level, you will earn a higher rate boost, right? If you look at Camino Finance, you're already used to it. Like the more you sort of borrow, lend, different types of assets, the multiplier went up much higher. Every 100 hours that you staked your ETH with EtherFi, and by the way, it's got to be at least 0.1 ETH, 0.1 ETH, you will rank up 1 level. So what that means is every 4.16 days, you will go up a level, and you only have 7 level ups. So after 30 days or 29 days of staking at least 0.1 ETH, you will have reached the maximum level. So for those people who are like wondering, hey, should I like take advantage of these other ways to rank up sooner? Not worth it. I don't think it's worth it at all, because you only get a small boost. So anyone who participated in season 1 will start at rank 2. Anyone who started with an EtherFi NFT, they will start with rank 3, and this only applies once per NFT holder. And one of the things they are doing is they are being a lot more strict on this, because they don't want people who earn points in season 1 to overshadow the new users. So any points that are accumulated in this season are actually multiplied by 10, diluting the old points. And this is done for a reason. One out of 11 points basically goes to those older users. So they're still 1/10. They're still valuable, but they're not such a huge boon that you don't have to do anything here, and you don't have such a huge edge that you prevent new people from joining. I thought that was a really nice touch. What's also really cool is I've seen a lot of speculation out there because there's a new liquid version that you can use with an EtherFi, and they're treated exactly the same way. One more thing you've got to know, there's a couple of things that are very important. If over 70% of your points come from season 1, you are not eligible for a season 2 airdrop. But obviously, given the fact there's a 10x multiplier, literally, if you only leave it in for a short period of time, you'll already have sort of gotten out of that. Also, this is very important, and I'm not just looking at this from an EtherFi perspective, but for any LRTs. If you withdraw shortly before the end of the season, I'm imagining withdrawing your full position, you will not be eligible for an airdrop. So for those of you who are looking at Swell, given that Swell is on the horizon, and people have been asking me, DMing me, asking in the private group, should I get out of Swell and sort of just switch over? I'm like, well, you can withdraw out of Swell, or you can withdraw out of Eigenlayer, but still use your Swell ETH on something like Zirkit, right? Or you can use it on something like Pendle if you'd like to earn more points. But if you actually exchange that SW ETH, it could be it could have negative consequences. In this case, they're actually calling it out, which is basically if you do that, you're gone. Also, if you do any sort of cyber behavior, no airdrop. So please don't game the system. If you do, like, honestly, I will have zero empathy just because of this. So you've seen it already. They're telling us this on day one. Don't be surprised, because the easiest game, right? So the easiest strategy in this is to take 0.1 ETH, spread it among like 50 wallets, rank up big time, and then start depositing ETH in the last little bit of time, because the multipliers will be so big, ideally, that they make up for not doing it earlier. So I think that's probably the best way to game it, right? One more thing I do want to talk about is, for example, when you go in here and you click on stake now, you get to this part, and if you type in 0.1 ETH, you get 0.1 ETH, and that's sort of the staking piece. It is important for you to know that this all happens on Ethereum mainnet, so that is something that might turn some people off. I know something that people liked about Renzo, which is a newer protocol, is that you can do it on other chains. But let's just be honest here, with the Gwei somewhat down, I think it's rebounded a tiny bit. It didn't really cost me that much to do it, and I did a larger piece at once. Another thing you could do, and just to get some exposure to this, they didn't say anything about this, but I put 0.5 ETH into Liquid. All you got to do is, once you've made that stake swap, you hit deposit, you type in whatever amount, you select the token type, in this case ETH, and by doing that, I now have sort of exposure here. The way it works is it rebalances deposits across the DeFi protocols to optimize your yield performance, and you get like the compounded yields, so EtherFi loyalty points, and Eigenlayer points. Now there is a 2% fee, so I do want you to know that 2% platform fee is counted for, but I'm looking at this as a sort of new feature. One, I want to test it out. I'll test it out for you guys so but I also want to test it out because typically when protocols launch something new, they may give an extra bonus for those who use it. So that's sort of where I come from there. The other thing I had done is I had staked in total 2.5 ETH so far in this. 0.5 going into Liquid, 2 going directly into ETH, and restaked on Pendle. I'm going to show you sort of what I did there, but I'm going to show you how you can maximize that in the future as well. But before I do, if we zoom in here, I'm going to do this quickly. You click on portfolio. You can see here that so far, and I deposited yesterday, I have 4,418 EtherFi loyalty points, 38 Eigenlayer points. And one thing you should know, always go in here, make sure you click on this every single day. Go in, check in, get those points, because they just add, they're free. You might as well do it, and you have a 24-hour cooldown. So these get added to your loyalty points, and they're free. You might as well take them. So like even the smaller accounts, hey, might as well do it. I always take freebies. That's one thing. The other thing is as well, if you use referral link, so the referral links that I have, for example, for every 0.1 ETH you have staked, and by the way, it's not just my referral link, it can be anyone's. I've included mine in the description below. But if you have anybody's referral link you want to use, each person will get 100 bonus EtherFi points for each 0.1 ETH or ETH is staked. So, very sort of mutual benefit there. Now, the last piece I do want to talk about is Pendle. So Pendle is one of many platforms that you probably heard of Zirkit too. One of the things that you do want to look at is there are 3 options, right? So I'm looking directly at the ETH pool. There are tons. I wanted to make this a lot easier for you guys. And we're also on the Ethereum mainnet. So there's YT, which is a yield token. There's LP, which is liquidity pool, and PT, which is principal token. Now, I've done a ton of research, learning about all of this in the last couple of days because I wanted to make sure I gave this to you guys straight. But not just that, I'm also going to make a video talking about when to get YT ETH, when to get LP, and when to get PT. That's going to be a more broader video and more of a strategic video. Basically, the LP ETH is sort of the middle of both, right? On the YT side, if you were to get YT ETH, you're giving up your actual ETH in exchange for all the points. The opposite is PT ETH, which is principal token, right? Here, you get massive APRs, but 0 points. So it's almost like a trade-off between each of these. This is one, YT is one extreme, PT is the other, LP is in the middle. You earn both points and yield, but you earn a lot less. So when you go in here, this is the safest one, the middle piece. And if you use the middle piece, you get a 2x EtherFi multiplier. So it's actually better than just sort of leaving it straight in your wallet, in my opinion, right? You can go here, you can go to another protocol like Zirkit, but Zirkit is only on Ethereum. I'm going to make a very detailed video on both Pendle and Zirkit and sort of how you utilize all of these pools. But that's for a later video because, guys, we are starting stake rank right now. The number one thing you want to do is at least put 0.1 ETH if you're doing this into here, like, you know, not into Pendle specifically, but into EtherFi. So you can get your level up to level 8 within 30 days. And that's when the mass will be so important, right? Like, obviously, if you can do it even sooner, great. But I understand a lot of people have, you know, their liquidity is tied up with a ton of things, right? So myself, I've actually started to withdraw funds from Eigenlayer, but that's not to say I'm going to take them out of my liquid restaking tokens. I want to utilize them on these other platforms as I sort of maneuver this very complicated system. If you're not sure exactly what to do, like I'm telling you, LP ETH is just the safest way to do it. Wait until I make my video on the others to sort of help clarify what these others look like. Because obviously, like, look at this point multiplier, 59x the EtherFi points and 29x the Eigenlayer points, right? So obviously you're getting a massive boost, but it's for, you know, an exchange, right? And the maturity here is April 24th, 2024, so less than a month. So, you know, lots of things to think about. And remember, one last thing I will say is, you know, you're probably wondering, okay, there's a lot of information. Is there an easier way? Well, one of the things I like to do in our private Discord is I like to summarize pretty much everything that's going on. So here is really the summary for Eigenlayer, which is we restake ETH to demonstrate that, you know, we're invested in the ecosystem. We're doing this for the to earn points for an airdrop, and sort of the standard Eigenlayer points is 1 point for every ETH per hour. That's sort of what you would get on their protocol. And then for EtherFi, exactly what I've said, pretty much summarized very neatly into this sheet. So if you want stuff like that and you want to have that kind of clarity all for everything pretty much and have it very focused, tiered, telling you what to focus on, we have a private group. I recommend everyone join the Patreon version. It's just $5 cheaper if you feel like you need to join a private group. I think community is very important, whether you join my group or somebody, other ones, or you have your own with friends. Make sure you're working with other like-minded people during this time. This is like a really good opportunity to make a ton of money. You want to make sure you have friends and like-minded people working alongside you. So that being said, I'm going to be on later tonight with Christian Peter. We're going to do a video where we rank all the airdrops and talk about the potential, priority, and what is actually really, really good. Make sure you check it out. Until then, I want to thank you so much for watching. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.